we stand tall. Words of blades that never fall to bait the warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. In the ring we stand tall. Words of blades that never fall to bait like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean. Spirited, mind sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night. Join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts clean. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena, there's no chance to escape the fight by law. Dive in deep in the search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts clean. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena, there's no chance to escape the fight by law. Dive in deep in the search for more. In the ring we stand tall. Words are blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean. Spirited minds sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night. Join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the vibrant lore. Dive in deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Will be heard. Will be heard.
Spartans! What is your profession?
What is going on, everybody? We're back at it once again with another live, another stream. You know where you're at. You're Spartan. It's you know where I am your host, the Spartan, also known as Peter, also known as the greatest beard on this network. So, of course, I cannot do this show by myself. Let's get my little friend in here. Groot, wake up! Wake up and turn your camera on.
Get the right
Turn your
sound off
camera on.
back. There's nothing little about me. There's nothing little
Turn your
about me.
camera
Get the
on.
right sound.
Turn your camera on.
There's nothing little about. I don't people understand. 6 foot tall, almost 300 pounds. You call that little? You out here in New York City, serve that one little. They'll look at you like, "What you been smoking?" Okay, let's get that one
So,
corrected.
you know, we could get to a different soundtrack. Here we go.
Not gonna work either.
Well, it goes with your culture, at least.
Not really. That didn't have my culture either. That's the funny part about it.
But you guys believe in
Misinformation.
voodoo magic? I thought you guys did Africans. I'm not
Yeah, but
being.
we
I'm
don't.
not, I'm not being a dick. I'm serious
I
question.
know. I'm just saying that soundtrack. If you understand African, West African, it's Afrobeat. We don't do anything that's not Afrobeat. That's
Yeah, I
where
don't
the
think I can
problem
find
comes.
anything appropriate for the getting copyright strikes.
That and that's the point I'm trying to tell you. So that's not even that culture when you play that soundtrack. It kind of like right there you go.
You need a
Now
breath
you
in, by the
getting
way.
this, and that's the part about it because, like
Mm.
I said, I'm the African grizzly bear.
So, David.
Yeah.
We're talking about your favorite subject.
About this topic, oh, forget about it. So much contradiction, so much BS, so much lies. When you work in that arena for more than 2 decades and see what you see and know what you know, it starts to bug the hell out of you. You start to wonder, what the heck?
Hmm.
Why this? Why that? And for anybody who been there, they will tell you, you need to be very, very careful. Because when you're dealing with corporate America, I have to be real frank with you guys. It may sound unpopular, maybe it's popular, I don't know. But I don't think one should be loyal to their job. This topic, when they talk about when corporate America run America, let's be let's be real here. They've been doing it for more than 5 to 6 decades behind the shadow. And did I know a lot of people don't understand when I say that, but if you want to really understand what's been going on in this country, you really have to be a person who like to read and start to dig deep and start to dig up stuff that maybe they were trying to teach you in your high school class in history, but you ignored it. For those in my age group and above, we're kind of aware of it.
Mm.
But those of the age group below mine, maybe that information that kept quiet on purpose. Because there were so many things established in a way that it kind of like what I've been saying for the past 2 or 3 decades, that people don't know who they're voting for anymore. They don't pay attention who they vote for anymore. The people that come into office that you pay no mind to are the one that you allow them to, I hate to say this, bend you over and do the diddy on you voluntarily. Yeah, yeah, I know. But that is the brutal and harsh reality. Very brutal, very harsh. This decade, we in the era of chase the bag, which you're buffoon. You're just chasing only the bag only. You're all about chasing the bag, but you don't pay attention who running your state legislator, who's running your city council. who's running your school board of ed, who's running your governors, who's running the mayor office. Y'all don't care about none of that but just chasing the bag. What are those people who going in gonna make sure you lose more of your bag? If you don't know their agenda to begin with, you don't know their paths, you don't know who they align with. It's kind of a complete oxymoron. I remember I said this before. Let's go back to what happened when we had a financial crisis back in 2008, 2009. When America fell in a financial crisis, what was America doing at that time? None of that goddamn thing. They were clueless what to do, right? They have no clue what was going on, right? Everybody don't know what happened, how it happened, when did it happen, who was responsible for it, right? That is why immigrants are smarter than American people. And I would be the first one to say it again. The exact same time when that happened, let's go across the ocean and look at the United Kingdom. When they had a financial crisis, who became the target of the people's rage? Hmm? Oh yeah, all you guys who watching social media, looking at the latest meme, the latest challenge, don't know nothing about their history, they make you clueless and dumb. Once again, I would say when 2008 happened, financial crisis across the ocean, what did the people of the United Kingdom did? Look it up. Who was the number one target of the people rage? That was the banks. If the people of the United Kingdom know why there's a financial crisis and who is responsible, and they wasn't playing games, they're like, no, 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 run that back. There's no financial crisis. You're doing something. Is it safe to say that people outside the country are not only smarter and more aware than the people in this country to begin with? Mm, highly, yes. It is safe to say that America is dumbing down their own people on purpose, according to the book known as The Art of War. The more you dumb down your people, the more people to control them. Mm, yes. Why is that? Hmm? How come people outside the soil of the United States are more and more aware of what's going on around them, more than the people in the United States, when there's a high contaminated, contagious level of ignorance? Why is that so-called people in the past 5 or 6 decades of public education don't retain what they learned in high school? Explain that to me. How come we in a nation whereby we ask people about their history and they're extremely clueless?
Mhm.
I find it amazing. Foreigners have to know American history to come be naturalized. You know that the position you got to do when they get to leadership, you got to know the American history from back and forward, and they will ask you questions, they will test you before you go where your oath to come into the United States, all that other stuff. But yet,
All right, David,
some
hang on a second. Hang on. Let's get Mariana versus Frank. Hey, Mariana, what's going on? How are you tonight?
I'm all right.
So, Copa America. David
Yes.
just went on a rampage. So, what do you got on this?
To be honest with you, I hate corporate America.
David,
I'm
sorry.
gonna tell you. I will tell you why. It's let's say if you wanna file a complaint, right? They always have to protect the company's interests. Let's say they're not followed. Let's say for instance the guidelines, but you have to say something that's in a legal aspect. Let's say I would say corporate America, it's more like running like a circus to me, to be quite honest, because it's so chaotic. Nobody's on the same page. There's miscommunication. It's it's to me it's a joke. It's not like, how it was many years back, like family run the business. Now it's all corporate. So like I had to say, for instance, I mean, the one that I don't want to say, used to be a family oriented, run by a family, now can't survive. You need to survive in a corporate world, because otherwise, you'd be out. Um, yeah, I'm not a big fan of corporate America. It seems like, I understand you want to survive, but the little guys lift the place up. But the big guys, tells you what to do, and then, sometimes they don't have the proper ways to say things. Like they will, treat you worse than a dog. I mean, what else can I say? Like I just it's it's frustrating. Like I I'm not a big fan of it. I will say never a big fan was with corporate America. It sucks. Like they don't. Let's say if you want to complain, and then they have to protect the company's best interests, whatever the case. But it's okay to come in walking around eggshells, right? It's not right either. So it's, oh, if you have any problem, come to us. Oh, it's open door policy. What open door policy? It's a bunch of BS. And then what? You get, you're gonna get. They're gonna know who say what, whatever. It's a joke. So I'm not a big fan of corporate America whatsoever.
I think we finally found a topic that Mariana is a firecracker went up her ass.
No, this is more than Mariana. Anybody, like I say, my age group and above, we are aware of what's going on.
I
Yeah.
This,
not that David, but she's usually the quiet and collect one. But today she's on a rampage.
oh, no, I'm sorry. Ask anybody who worked in corporate America more than a decade. They will speak that same level. That's what I've been trying to explain to you. Corporate America, when you're inside there long enough to see how it's being operated, you start to ask a lot of questions like, why do these huge corporations get away with what they do?
Yeah.
David, you don't need to explain to me because I work it every single day. I see so much shit go through that place.
I know. What I'm referring to, I'm talking about a place whereby you had to dress up suit and tie. I'm talking about the corporate office. I'm talking about where you walk past the CEO office, the CIO office, yet go up to another floor level whereby the owner of the corporation have armed guards, aka NYPD, and the security guard armed protecting their location, whereby you can't just walk in without being escorted into the area. Those type of arena. Been there too many times. If it's not the
Hey,
financial
David,
industry,
I deal with it on a daily basis. Trust me when I tell you this. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to corporate America bullshit. It's corrupted. I will tell you that firsthand. They, like Marianne said, open door policy. This is my open door policy to them.
and
Like
here's
I
the
only
thing,
had one chef. One chef, maybe one chef. You know how he opened? He started his open door policy. He ripped the fucking door off the hinges, and he goes, "If I'm in the meeting, I want you guys to hear what I'm saying because this is about you usually, or about the company. So you guys need to know this. This is how we're having an open door policy bullshit."
let me put it like this.
Mhm.
When I say I work many entities, if it's not the financial industry, it's the fashion industry. If it's not the fashion industry, it's the media company. It's not the media
Oh shit.
company, it's the auto industry. If it's not the auto industry, it's the insurance company, NYPD, the hospital industry. What I saw on the inside, I'm like, don't you have regulation that you put to the one who don't follow regulation the most is mostly the banking and fashion industry. The banking, the stuff that they get away with, you were like, wait a minute. And you cannot speak up. No, you say whistleblower? Whistleblower is a risky thing to do in corporate America because when you're a whistleblower, just know everybody know who you are,
Hmm.
what you do, So in case you want to go to another corporation, blocked right there and there. We don't need you. You know that whistleblower is known as the corporate snitch. You know, you make a lot of complaint about they're not following policy. They know people are not following policy. They know that. They know they promote people in management position who got low self-esteem to keep those who are very confident about their skills. There's no such thing as hard work paid off in corporate America. Let's stop that right there.
Mhm.
A lot of great hardworking people got screwed beyond a Diddy level.
Mhm.
They have bust their ass for different corporates, for different companies, all just to get replaced, lied on to, and backstabbed. But yet they help the company make so much money, and all you can do is thank you very much. We don't need you no more. You're obsolete. This is
They
why
will get
I'm,
rid of you on a heartbeat. They don't give a shit. You're a number to them.
and
Yeah.
that will make it real obvious. Whereby, God forbid, you walk away and start your own business, and they finally do that some of the business what they do, and your business is successful, you become a target. Let's find a way to hurt their market and buy up the business and assimilate it. That's what Disney and many other big conglomerates are doing. They're looking around and see they make sure there's no competition. And you're a competition, you know you're small and you are a threat to them in a way, long term, they will find a way to gobble you up.
Mhm.
They don't want you to succeed. I used to work for a big fashion corporation. At the time, they have 15 companies under their umbrella when I was working there. I left. Fast forward now, there are 27 under their umbrella. 27 fashion companies under one name.
Wow.
Ain't that questionable? Disney used to be Disney by until they went into the action on gobbling up other companies and put it under their umbrella. Fox is no different. Ev- Everybody want to gobble up everything and control things how they want they see fit, as if there should be no say so. But they do way worse than that. While they gobbling up the Congress. They gobbling up your senators.
Mhm.
They put lobbyists to pay your congressman, your senator, your state senator to lobby for them, not for you. So instead of fighting for the people, which that's never been a thing, it started lately in the 1960, 1970.
You're funny, David.
But
Right? What you just said.
they don't lobby for the people, they lobby for corporation.
Bingo. That's what I was
Without
laughing. But
and
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I was painting a picture. But for them to do that, before you got into office, and they know you're going to get into office, you don't think they follow you what you do? You know, that's the term called dark money.
Let me our president. I'm not saying I'm a fan. I'm not saying I'm not a fan. David, I know you're not a fan. Hang on before you jump the gun. All right? Because you're about to jump the gun literally. I got
I
low
would
that
have
fucking
I
heavily.
would have I would have jumped the nuke. You don't need a
I
nuke
don't
to
have a
make it
nuke
work.
button. Sorry, buddy. Uh,
Find one.
actually, I have this. This works.
Yeah. Warning.
Happy now. All right,
Yeah.
now, yeah, like we say in my language, malaka skase. In other words, jerk off. Shut up. I'm talking. So here's the thing. I'm not saying I'm a fan. I'm not saying I voted for the guy. I'm not saying he is our president, so we got to respect him as our president. David, don't even give me that look. Let me finish, please. Like, I know you're not a fan of him, but let me finish. Like, I interrupted you when you were, so it's fair for me to say my piece, right? Thank you. Not even the eyes. Look to the ground. Look down the ground. Good boy. So what? This guy is a business owner. End of the day, failed business owner, but he is a business owner. So this guy is one thing I realized from his first term. During his first term, his business were going very, very well. All his business partners were doing really well. He was doing very well. People that he worked with were doing really well. After he left office, they were doing pretty shitty for a while. He's back in office now. Who's doing really well again? They are. And you're gonna start screaming in the chat like you have no idea what you're talking about. I'm an idiot. Blah 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 blah. Okay, whatever you wanted to say is fine. That's your opinion. I don't give a shit really either. That's my personal opinion. But everybody's going crazy about the taxes. Here's the thing: with the overtime, we don't pay overtime. Okay, cool, great, more money in my pocket. I do a lot of overtime. Mariana kills the overtime too. Me and her like fucking live on overtime, right, Mariana?
Yes, most
So we
definitely.
don't have to pay taxes on that. But what about end of the year? Anybody consider that? Oh, who's gonna pay for the roads getting fixed? Yeah.
Our money.
Or yeah. So this I know what's gonna happen because the bill's not fully written yet. The question are asked, what about end of the year? And IRS is gonna ask you, okay, you did say, oh, you did 80,000 this year? Great. But 20 of that is overtime.
Hmm.
Guess who's paying that big chunk of change, Mariana?
Us.
Me and you
Yeah.
and David. Well, he kind of he already paid it with his haircut. Um, just saying, Baldy. My point is trying to get right now. Who has the power? Think about it. Who has? Do they have more power over us, or we have the power over them? Who wants to go first on that one?
It seems like the opposite. It seems like this president, I hate to say it, has more power over the people. I don't want to, I have to say that because I feel like it's getting a little bit crazy. Can I say something in my little situation? I uh,
The floor is yours.
I went to
Unless
Social
cutting you off.
Security. Yeah, I went to Social Security office because I was
Okay.
a payee for my two nephews, right?
Mhm.
And this is before COVID. They were collecting. Now I got a letter just, not long ago, like, couple months back. Now all of a sudden the money that I was collecting because I went, buy food for them, buy clothing. Now they want that money back. That's, to me, it's absurd. They're
Let me ask
asking,
you a question.
yes.
If you feel comfortable sharing, what
Mhm.
how high of a number are we talking about?
Number? Oh, over 7 grand. They're asking money back.
Jeez, that's gonna fuck you in the ass hard.
Yeah. This to me, it's like, oh, you got this money and all this, but they only receive $100 per month at that time. This is before COVID. And now all of a sudden now they want the money back. This is coming from this administration, which is crazy. And now I am in midst. I have to fill out the form because I have to show how much debt that I have. I have a credit card debt. I have a loan debt that I have to pay. There's no way I pay because I told them that. So I had to show them evidence in order to reappeal to waive it, which, to me, it's crazy. Now with this, oh, we're not going to have taxes for overtime. That's going to kill us. I don't want to pay back money. If that's the
Mhm.
case, then take my taxes out because I don't want to deal with the headache, like dealing with that all over again. Oh, here's free money. There's no such thing as free money. Nothing's free anymore because it's all this. I would say all this BS that they're pulling. You give us this, and now you want the money back. So stop giving it to us then, if that's the case. It's a joke. Everybody, you have to understand. This is like the working class. Everybody struggles, and I, struggling day in, day out. Every like you, like Dave, like this is it. This is crazy. Like why? Like you don't like. It's only about those people having more. pocket change in their pockets. But in the meantime, we had to struggle. We had to beg. I don't want to beg. I had to do what I had to do, but I'm not gonna lie and like sugarcoat it or whatever. But whatever I have is what I have. But if I don't have it like that, they expect it back. They're crazy. I'm not gonna hold back because it's ridiculous. Like I'm not. I know I'm not the only one. They do that to almost to everybody now, which is absolutely ridiculous. That's why. What's the point? You started with this. Oh, we're gonna make sure we have no taxes on overtime, and then what? After when I filed, when we filed the taxes, then now all of a sudden you want the money back? Get the hell out of here! No, absolutely not.
All right,
A
guys,
joke.
let's hang on before we move on. Let's get our dying Eagle fan here. Hey, I can't the Eagles, bro.
Hi.
Don't even start.
You are lucky I do not have my Eagles background on tonight.
Yeah, you wouldn't be coming on. I would have blocked your ass. I would have kicked you off the show immediately. And I would too.
Oh, jeez.
All right, go ahead. What you got on this, Alicia?
Okay, do you want to catch me up? What your latest? I mean, what you guys are just
Copa
talking about
America. Just Copa America we're talking about now.
So actually, I would say I kind of had something, something happen just today that revolved around like, I don't know if we consider like big pharma, kind of like corporate. Would you think that would be like something?
Yeah, that's 100%.
like,
It's Copa America.
yeah.
It's corporate.
So I actually just had my small town pharmacy call me and tell me that there was a medication shortage.
Really?
Yes. And on this particular medication. And I went to a doctor's appointment today and the doctor was like, never heard of it. I don't think so. So he basically sent it out to his own pharmacy. And what my pharmacy was doing was trying to keep his customers there, not saying we don't serve this, but there's other pharmacies that you can get this medication at. He didn't want to say that because, as he says, the small time pharmacies are trying to keep everybody in their town. It's not that they're out of all pharmacies. They're out of it at the pharmacy I was going to, but he refused to let me know that I could go to other pharmacies for it because he didn't want me going elsewhere for business.
Can you really blame the guy?
I know, but it was a medication that was needed, like.
That's a whole different story. I understand that. But the money part, can you blame him?
I know, because he's trying to survive as a small-time pharmacist.
I'm surprised I still see one. I see one or two in our town. I think it's 12611, right, Mariana? Am I mistaken?
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
is a K Juniors and one by the smoking lounge I smoke.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. I thought they're dead. I thought they don't exist anymore, small pharmacists.
Yeah, no, there's one in our town.
Let me ask you a question. How much price difference is that small versus like the big franchises?
I haven't. Well, I have great insurance, so I haven't had any issues. And they claim that they're cheaper because they want to bring more people in. But the only thing is that they're not. This is why people are going to continue going to outside pharmacies in the small term, because he doesn't have great hours. I mean, he wants the business, but your hours suck.
How many codes? What are his hours?
He's not on the weekends getting a prescription filled is Saturday and Sunday. Forget it. I have to go to CVS. I have to go to the big pharmacies. And he's only open like 6 o'clock. I mean, that's fine if you need a prescription, but if I need one overnight, I'm going to a big pharma. I'm going to CVS. I'm going to.
At least in my area and Mariana's area around here, because I know we all live in different areas. Davis in New York, he won't have an issue with that. But me and Mariana are living like 3-4 blocks away from each other.
Yeah, not that far. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not that far. And me and you, we're 45 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
We're still in technically the Monroe area. But your area is different than us because you still can find 24-hour franchises.
Yes.
I have not seen one around here in a very, very, very long time. The pharmacies I personally use is the hospital one. because it's the best prices, cheapest, and always have everything I ever needed. But the downfall with that one I use, the pharmacy near me, the hospital one,
Hmm.
is they close weekends.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah,
They
see.
close what? Or they close
Saturday
at
and
6.
Sunday. They close
Yeah,
at 5.
and that's the other downfall. They close at 5. Now the bigger hospitals, like say the other Lehigh Valleys, are open later, and they're open 24 hours.
Right.
So it's kind of catch-22 with that. You know what I'm saying? I do get you to stand. If they have told me, listen, if you can't get your stuff here, go to CVS. They told me go to CVS. I refuse to go to CVS for one reason. You know what that reason is?
What's that?
I have to call 5 to 7 days ahead of time before my mom needs the medication.
Really?
Yep, that's how backed up they are.
Oh, wow. See, we have tons of CVS's. Like,
That's the only CVS right now. It was another one they shut. They closed it down, right? About your house, Mariana?
No, we're still open. The CVS over there by where not far from where I live. It's still the Rite Aid is closed. Now it's
Oh,
yeah,
Friday. Yeah,
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 Rite Aids are closed.
yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
But
now CVS is
go
going to
ahead.
outrun everything.
But you guys are right. It is a Americana thing. I, when me and you first met, Alicia, I worked for work. Remember, I was cooking for a health company at the time. Remember?
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
owner even told me when Obama law passed, he popped a bottle of champagne. He knew now he's gonna make millions overnight, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
David, this is not like you being quiet. Jump in.
I chose not to interrupt. I'll let you guys keep it going. When I go into my mode, is what it is. Pharmaceutical is
I
corporate
never said
America.
you couldn't go in your zone, dum dum.
I'm
Then
trying to be polite, okay? Pharmaceutical is corporate America. When it have been exposed in Congress hearing how it cost them penny on a dollar to manufacturing the medicines that America use, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they hiked the price about 150% to 300% just to make a massive profit off the American people. Make it make sense. No,
Mm-hmm.
let that sink in. Our medicine that everybody needs to live another day to cure whatever sickness of the day or pain or ailment costs less than $3. I want everybody to do the math right now. Let that stick in your skull. It costs less than $3 to manufacture the medicine that you need. But yet these pharmaceutical companies is allowed to hack the price from 150% to 300% to get a humongous profit margin off the American public. And the lobbyists know this, but don't give two shit about it. But I want to tie it to where people saying about the overtime. So the only people who have to pay taxes for fixing the country are the working class, right? So all the multi-billionaires can bleed the country dry and pay no taxes for what? Really? And they know this. They cannot do this in another region because if they go in, if you start to travel, they get in trouble in Europe.
mhm.
They have a chokehold on corporate America. When I'm talking about chokehold, I'm talking about the Royal Highness got their feet on their neck. If you come to my nation state to go rip my people off, you will break your neck. How about that? Other regions are now catching on with these corporate BS and they're saying, oh, so you want to play this game? I know I cannot talk about Africa. I'll bring something that people don't understand. So the multinational corporation, mining corporation, that forged a fake contract claiming that they have ownership of a particular mine to 99 years. They don't have to pay no tax, no nothing, and let the country know of the revenue they make. So they're robbing a country blind of their resources, not paying the actual price for the raw resources. Take it to their own turf, make finished good, and sell it for 200%, 300%. Don't that sound familiar to you?
Yeah, again, I know for a fact.
No, this, I know this.
Diabetes medication.
That is corporate America. That's what they
Yeah,
do.
hang on. I'm gonna add to it. I'm not taking anything away from you, David. I'm just gonna add to it.
Hmm.
So for diabetes people, there is a shot that has been made in Europe. Don't ask me what country. I don't remember. That you take the shot and you don't have diabetes again. I know it sounds too true to be true, but it is true.
Wow.
Yeah. If it is,
What?
also, yeah, it's also a cure for cancer. Alicia overseas.
I hear all these stories, but I never hear the person that has the cure.
Because he's dead.
But I never hear factual stuff from the person experiencing the cure.
Because you don't live in that country.
I know, but wouldn't you want to broadcast it?
Hell fucking no.
Whoa, hold on. I work for a media company. My last job with a media company. What business do they have to tell you the freaking truth?
Think about it, Mariana. I mean, Alicia, I'm sorry. I think about it for 1 minute. Diabetic medication. Now, insurance companies won't even cover
Right.
diabetes strips and machines anymore.
Wow.
You got to pay that out of pocket.
Right.
So, average, they say get a cheap Walmart brand. All right, $20 every second week, third week. If you get the big packet, $50 a pop. That probably lasts you, if you do it 3 times a week, probably every 3 weeks you're gonna need one, a new packet, right? So let's do the math really fast, okay? $50. All right, every say 2 times a month for argument's sake, $100, right? Times that by 12 now, that's $1,200, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how many people do you think they have diabetes in this country? Give me an
Oh
average.
my God.
Give me an.
I don't even
throw a number.
know.
I don't care what number.
It's over 12 million. I feel.
Thank
I
you.
don't know.
I'll say over 30% of the country population. How about that?
It's over $12 billion in profit.
Jeez.
And this is a rough estimate I'm doing on my phone right now. Now you do a shot. All right, one little shot. Where's that profit? You lose it more than half. More than half. Well, I'm talking about less than that. It's going to be probably down to 5%. They're making profit now. David, you're pretty good with numbers, right?
It's more than just that. This is a two-front attack
Right.
with the diabetes incident because there's
No,
one
I'm not
gene.
done. I'm not done. Hang on 1 second. Before you jump into it, I'll give you the floor back in one minute. All right. Now, with cancer medication, the cure, right?
Yep.
How much do you think the cancer user average, a year? Because I know what it's going to cost my mom.
How much do you think it costs a year
Yeah, for
for all
treatments.
the cancer treatments?
Yeah, just for one person.
Oh
Like,
my
no.
God. Ton. Like millions.
Give me a number. No, it's not millions for one person.
Okay, true.
How much? How much? Who say was it for you?
You're saying everything that has to do with it. Treatments, tests, scans.
Chemo, just chemo alone.
Oh, okay. 15,000.
You sure you got your number right?
No. Actually, let me go up because I'm just thinking of what. I would say 100,000.
You close the second time. My mother's treatment for her when she had cancer first time, came out to $75,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
1 year after
I
cancer.
believe it.
After cancer, I'm sorry. After shit, I must spoke. I'm sorry. After insurance.
I believe it.
Yeah. What saved my ass was because I made less what I make now. It was all the donations. They give it to hospitals. I'm talking about charities, like state jumped in, all this bullshit. So yeah. So now take that one shot. They say the shot costs the company and the insurance about, let's say $500 for argument's sake, right? One time. Do the math. You're not making 80,000 per person anymore. You're only making 500. Who's
Right.
winning now? David, jump in. I know you dying here. Come on, the floor is yours. I know you got. I'll give you flowers.
And I'm glad you're filling this one up because this is something that I've been aware of because as a immigrant, I'm technically an immigrant. My parents from Nigeria. I was born in Canada. Okay. When you watch this going on, I remember back in the 80s, they helped company to call HIP back in downtown Brooklyn. They no longer exist. They just appear. They have all the insurance companies buying each other out, competing with each other. Then you just look at the price. I know. Thank you. I thought I'm going to do it. So when you look at that math, the insurance company had help to create client. So you gotta ask yourself, how come we have a growth number of people with diabetes? What is causing it? Hmm. It's what you eat, right? What is the food industry is working hand in hand with the insurance company and the health corporation to make sure they increase the population of sick people so that it's a win-win on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that the American public don't realize this. This is a true story and it's a true fact. American food is considered not food outside the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Say that one part again. I'm sorry. Say that again. I didn't catch the whole part.
The American food that we
Okay.
eat on a daily basis is not considered to be real food outside the realm of the United States.
Oh, that's 100% right. I'll tell you as a
Yeah.
chef.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
So
heard that.
I'll give you an
That's why
example.
it's banned.
Right? It's not banned, actually. Believe it or not, there's still a lot of serving in a lot of countries, like McDonald's, all that stuff. McDonald's has a different type of McDonald's in Greece, China, and so on. All right, like they have in India, they have a Big Mac naan. I'm like, that's a big ass fucking Big Mac in my opinion. But anyway,
They have the franchise, but they're not using the same ingredients. That's the difference.
hey,
Yeah.
hey, the things about overseas versus us, food wise. I'm not talking about franchise food wise. Is we use so much fucking steroids. This is why people are dying right and left in the United States, and this is why people cannot have kids on over 40. People have kids over 40 all the time overseas. David, you're from fucking Africa. How many people have kids over 40 over there? Your wife is not around. You're safe to speak.
Why this asshole is snitching on my continent? Here's the problem. The birth rate in Africa. This guy's an asshole. This guy's an asshole. You should have kept that quiet. That quiet part quiet.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
Form blazing middle finger.
Fuck you, asshole. I got 20 more fucking buttons he coming here. You want me to fucking push every fucking one of them?
You bored then. Anyway, yeah. The birth rate in Africa is ridiculous. It's so ridiculous that your good old, good for nothing, retarded ass should never be there in the first place. Bill Gates, it's been trying to sterilize African people.
Mm.
Let that sink in very crystal clear.
That's my point exactly, Dave. What I'm trying to get to right now is overseas. Mariana, you're from overseas too. Remind me again where you're from again. Help me out here.
I mean, I was born and raised in New York, but my parents are from
And you
Eastern
say that.
Europe.
What part of Europe?
Eastern Europe, so, Serbia and Romania.
Okay, let's use Romania. Let's pick one country. All right.
Okay.
How many people have kids over 40 over there?
Not as much, but they do have it.
It's
I
pretty
mean,
common, believe it or not.
yeah.
It's pretty common.
Yeah.
The peak for a man for marriage is around 40 years old. I'm at the peak right now.
Oh wow.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, people don't know that. So yeah, you might have younger, older, whatever, but it's very common people over 40 to pop out 3 or 4 kids
Yeah.
because there's no steroids, and that goes back to the politics shit.
And
Mhm.
in Africa, here's the problem. It depends on the nature of the family. Some people who got wealth is not always based on money. It could be they have lands, or they can have property, they have business. Some, in particular, may have, let's say, for the huge acre of land, and they want to run a farm. The reason why polygamy is very common in Africa. Number
Mhm.
one reason, if you want to keep the wealth in your family, pop out more kids to work on your farms.
Mm.
So this way you keep the money within the family. You don't have to hire people outside the family. The problem is the food is very rich in nutrient, number one in Africa.
Mhm.
They're not too much processed foods, which it also boosts the libido health of men. So when you have a healthy, horny ass man who just want to pop out kids,
Mhm.
like they're shooting bullets
Mhm.
at a gun, you know what? When you have a woman who is healthy, because people think it's funny until you start doing your research. There's a wealthy Nigerian man who got 8 of his girlfriends pregnant almost all around the same time.
Damn.
Wow.
And the fact that he was black, he showcased all his pregnant girlfriends, and they was lining up coming out one by one.
Dear
Or
Lord.
so if you hear a family have 8 kids, 9 kids, 10 kids, 11 kids, that's a normal thing in Africa. If you
Mhm.
want to create legacy, that's mostly meant for legacy building. But the thing is, we have a growing population in Africa that the West don't want to have. Because you know why? When you have far more people in a country, it's hard to control them.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, corporations, aka the West, want to control the continent that I hate to say that people don't keep sleeping on it.
Mhm.
About 98% of the raw resource from there produce everyday product we use every day across the globe. Now, when you have corporations trying to overreach, they got their hand in America as it is already. They are the lobbyists who
Mhm.
lobby in Congress to make laws for them so they can skip out on paying. They got the congressmen, either your senators or your
Mhm.
congressmen in the Congress, who they go behind the back to fund their campaign before they get into office and continue to fund the campaign after. Let them know that if you want to be well off, put these into the. This is why I've been questioning myself. Back in the early '80s, before they vote on the bill, they actually read the bill first and debate on the bills. They don't put way too many earmarks in the bills. These days, we got bills labeled so, but everything that's in the bill had nothing to do related to the title of the bill. They're hiding all kind of nonsense in the bill to benefit corporate America. When you have people who are good hearted want to fight for us, you got a massive amount of corrupted politicians. Until this is not how we work here. This is not how we run here. And the reason why we have coup in Africa, they give you the middle finger to the so-called democracy. They did what you want to do in these certain countries. You're not there to serve the people. You're there to serve yourself. This is why you have coup to get rid of such nonsense. They had enough of it. If you're not for the people, get the hell out. We'll talk. We'll talk. That is the threat of corporate America. They want to control people and make people at their go fund them policy. You work, make the money, and give us back the money we give you. And that's what it
Here.
is. I've been noticing that because when he mentioned about the healthcare industry, about the cost of chemo, the cost of diabetes, it didn't cost them more than $5. You can go a long list of every single medicine that are being made in this country. The
Mm-hmm.
actual cost is less than $5 freaking.
Right.
It might even go less than $2 to a majority of them. But why you gotta pay so much money and you have to have insurance to cover the bulk, quote unquote, the bulk of the cost? And especially insurance companies don't want to help. Let's be real. When you have a healthy population, You got a high level productivity rate. Why is that we have so much people getting sick and you want to squeeze whatever you can squeeze out of the people you have left who are really healthy, or you're trying to kill them?
Because
Doesn't make
they
sense.
want to make more money off of all the sick people.
So what if people say we ain't working for you no more? What would happen? You go back to forced slavery, like you did back in the early days in America? They did a documentary in the Discovery Channel how America came to be. There was no 40-hour work hour back then. Let let be 100, right? Let's be bloody real. The former work environment where you work 60 hours, 70 hours, we own you. You're going to get a pay. You got a hard working environment. If it deletes you, so what? You still got to work. You're not allowed to protest. That's what the yesteryear of America. That's what the yesteryear that your president wants, whereby you're not a person, you're a slave to the corporate America. You don't deserve to have any right in the workplace. So while people want to chase the bag, yeah, you can chase that bag, but that bag will come back to us. How about that? So some people in social media platform who want to lie to the public, I don't got time to lie to people. I just point out that to you. This is modern day slavery for what it is. You kill them with food or you starve them not getting the proper medicine.
Yep.
If you can afford insurance, okay, you pay the full brunt, even though the price is fixed. God forbid, oh, you're not allowed to grow food in your backyard if you want to avoid eating processed food that for the supermarket selling to you. Oh, you go pass a law, no backyard garden. Really? Let's go even further. Your light bill is going too damn high. They're
Hmm.
jacking up the rate of the electricity, your utility. So if you want to go green, okay, I'm gonna put the whole entire solar panel on my roof, cut down my light bill so I can save money. Oh, and some think you're not allowed to do that. Really? If I want to filter rainwater in this is so stupid as well. In Oregon, you need a license to use water. Really? You serious? And we are fighting the unnecessary war that's not helping us. But we're not fighting the people that are doing us dirty.
It's all about the money.
Now make it make sense.
That's what it is.
And
I wish I could make it make sense. It does
the
not make
people
sense
who
at all.
voted for this retard, this high school retard, who is the biggest dunce in all public education, who never graduated from high school, never graduated from college, or used his daddy money to pay off the deans and the teachers, who not really a businessman, he's a con man because there's no board of directors in his business, which is required to be considered a real business, so to speak. They had to have a check and balance in place, but he never had none. He got shell company pretending to be business to move money around. Hmm. And all he wants to do is remove every single program that protect the people more than protect the corporation. And the people who voted from them are now losing their homes, losing their job. Now let's go back to the home. You lose your home to that called eminent domain, whereby the government can claim your land. They want you to for something else, so to speak. That's your home. You lose your job. Whatever program out there to protect the people is not meant to be there. You want them all gone, so you people cannot be protected, but yet you voted for the numbnut. You lose your neighborhood if the environment, air quality, if it polluted or dangerous, whereby your kid will have all type of deformity, and the EPA was meant to protect your air. But the person who created the EPA was a Republican, was he not? I've been trying to understand people who are so dumb and retarded, who don't care about history. The person who created the EPA created that so that you have better air quality, better soil quality, better environment so our children can grow in a better arena, aka wherever you at, either district wide, you don't have to worry about poisonous water like they have in Flint, Michigan, kind of thing. That's what the reason why. But yet, so ironically, you vote in so many people in the past 2 decades who literally bend you over and did you the dealer every single day voluntarily without you even complaining, but you complain about the people that do the Me Too. Make it make sense. I'm on a rant because I've been trying not to lose my mind, and I was like, this does not add up
Mhm.
at all. The insurance company is taking almost half of your check slowly.
Mhm. And our pay rates aren't going up, but they just keep taking and taking and
Everything
taking.
goes up except for what you make. If anyone who
Yep.
live in New
And
for
that's
the
how
past
it's gonna be. It's
for the
always
past
gonna be like
decade
that.
and a half, everybody who live within New York City is paying almost half of their check to rent alone. The many have depend on what take the bigger piece.
Mhm.
Your health insurance if you have one, your car
Yep.
insurance if you have a car, your cell
Mhm.
phone. It's almost as if it was designed to make sure whatever money you make, you get it back from you. You're the new modern slave. You deserve no right. You deserve no freedom, so to speak. Which is why during the post pandemic or during the post pandemic, a lot of people were quitting their job. They were trying to flood the social media wave to make their money. But here's the problem: when you have too much saturated BS on social media, no one makes money. So this way, you open a new door of scam artists and con men who sell you lies so that you can empty the money in their pocket so they can make
Yeah.
money off you because then they learn from their former slave masters, aka corporate America. Why can I be a slave master myself? Dog eat dog world.
I know a lot of people start their own businesses now because they aren't making money to survive or support
Bingo.
their own family.
And like I said before, some people are looking for a state or district that doesn't have barbaric laws telling you that you can have your own garden or you can have solar panel on your roof, so to speak. If they can't find a state, they can go to an island, aka Puerto Rico. If Puerto Rico does not work for them and there's nowhere to go, get the next stage. Leave the damn country. And truth to be told, everybody want to attack passport bill. This is tied to this conversation. Since the early 90s, late 80s, people have been quietly leaving the country and never want to come back. And a lot of us, we didn't know why they were doing that. You go in the early 2000s, the next group of people were doing the same exact thing. Remote, remote work from home. The first group of people doing that were making their money before we started to figure out, oh, this is a good thing to get into. So they make sure they do
Mhm.
remote work outside the country. So when they have more than enough money, if the company want to drag them back in, they say, you know what, we good. We put in our 2 weeks more 2 weeks notice. Adios, sayonara. You don't need all this. They already established a business over there with
If you're
you.
professional, David.
If you're no keyword, if you're professional, but here's the thing: if you do remote work outside the U.S. long enough for more than 2 or 3 years, it's almost possible for you to quit another business on that other soil without worrying about this jurisdiction digging in your pocket if you understand the laws over there.
Here's where I think it's kind of hilarious. When you don't give you 2 weeks, they put you on a do not rehire list, right?
Yeah.
So why don't they give us 2 weeks before they fire us?
Or you're not worth it. You're not a human being to them.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe I should put you on a do not join team again, or some bullshit like that. But
They
it's
don't.
okay
They don't.
for one way. It's a one-way street. Fuck you, I say that.
They don't care. I did it before for a traveling job, a traveling tech job. I had an offer to me, and I gave them my 2 week notice. right? The moment I give my 2 week notice, the next day they let me go immediately
Wow.
because I put in my 2 week notice. Like I'm being professional, I'm being respectful.
Hmm.
I
They don't
said
give
I
a
had an
shit.
offer. They're telling me, F you. You're supposed to bend over, let us do the digital on you. No, my nigga. This African person don't take that.
David.
I'm sorry. I I'm fighting that word not to say it, but that's the feeling when you know that when you try to be respectful to your employer and they telling you F you in your face, some Africans have more restraint than I do. I try my best not to let the beast come out of me. But it was bad about it. We have people come to the country, to this nation to work and do the best they can and then some. But you have to be afraid of the fact that you have to wonder if they're allowing you to showcase your talent or they're looking for a way to milk you dry. That's the question. Because my brother here, Sparta, working 80 hours, if they want to do him dirty, they tell you know what? 80 hours? No, no, no. You work 100 hours.
They're doing dirty anyway.
Then, you know what? You're no longer the Sparta anymore. You're an agent. Consider yourself agent.
Yeah, I'm not denying that one bit, David. I get fucked up my job on a
Yeah.
daily basis.
Because that was a thing in Japan when I heard people burn themselves out to the point whereby it was a severe health crisis. But the reason why that's happening, a lot of people not having babies over there in Japan. The population is going down.
Yeah, I heard
Everybody
that.
work. So when you working too damn much, you have time to make babies? No. That's killing everybody. But already there's a different demographic who want to come and populate that area, but you don't want them to take over your area. So why in the world that we have an issue with another demographic coming over here to work when you know there are too many of them and they're about to outdo you? So this policy whereby they want to deport Africans and keep African Americans, but yet corporate Americans saying they want to hire more African people that are highly productive and highly educated. Make it make sense. What the hell are you doing? I don't understand that. You want immigrants to work the high level job, but you want to still milk them. But at the same time, you want to deport them at the same time. Like, make it make sense. I don't understand that logic. People want to come here and work hard. They want to contribute to the nation. But at the same time, you want to bend them over and do them dirty.
And that's the issue, Pete. Pete. That's the issue, David. You know what I'm saying? They screw us every chance they get.
It's not that they score every chance. Correction. It's not that they score every chance. We get them the opportunity. When I said keyword, who are you voting for in your local area, your state area, and your it go down from the simplest office, the superintendent of the board of education, to your mayor, to your chief of police, to your judges, to your state senators, to state legislators, to the point they have one in Congress. Who are you putting in? Are you putting in the people who will bend you over, or are you putting the people in who will fight for you? Because I've been going on for more than a decade, and I've been scratching my head like, how did this idiot from Georgia, who sound like a complete idiot in Congress, got into office? No one do the background check on what you do. Like, make it make sense. I try not to put on C-SPAN because if I put on C-SPAN, I might break my TV. Real talk. I hear a bunch of dumb people in office who should never be there.
Hmm.
I'm like, how they got there? What did they do to get like? Are you telling me you put in the dumbest people in your classroom to be head over you?
Yes.
Is that what it is? You put in the worst predator who to take you in your school bathroom to be head over you? Make it make sense. I've been trying to pay close attention. I'm telling me, how in the world this is really going on? You have so much to say to a person who's busting the ass for you, but a person who's trying to bend you over, you got nothing to say until your money, your house, your business is on the line. Then you want to speak out afterwards. And the lobbyists, they was in plain sight for the longest.
See, here's the thing, David. There's a question we need to ask all of us: do we live for the corporations, or do we live for ourselves?
Hardship for the corporation. That's all
And
people
that's
say.
the issue. Like, people don't realize the life in China is all about corporation, right?
Mhm.
I'm not sure about Japan, but China definitely I know for a fact. Again, I don't know about Japan.
Yo, China is wide open,
Yeah,
as
China.
well known.
Is it thundering by you guys?
No, it's not thunder. It's too
No,
damn hot out here. The
no.
AC here is suffering. It's not blowing much cool air. I'm about to choke the
No.
AC. The AC to get fired, not doing his job. What?
Anyway, back to what I was saying. China is definitely the one that I can at least say for a fact they live for the corporations. And they're out open. I think we live for the corporations too, and we don't realize it.
No, it's not that you don't realize, you don't pay attention to it. How long you chase the bag.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
How do I put it? If you look at history, the 60, the 70, the 80, don't forget the 50, that was a huge change being made. People were aware of what's going on. People were speaking out more. And Richard Nixon kind of like exposed it, whereby corporate was like, they were pissed with him, like, you doing too much. You put it out there. So they had to, how you want to say it? Let the old head die out and replace it with new people who will do the bidding for them. That's what's been going on since then. Slowly but steady, methodically. They're looking for people who will fight for the corporation, but not for the people. Pretend to fight for the people, but when you get in, you're actually fighting for us. They're going statewise. Because I remember seeing a video, there are 10 states that are losing jobs, like their pipe was leaking for so long and the plumber didn't come in the past 6 months. They're becoming third world countries right before your eye, and you're asking how is it possible. But all the jobs, the manufacturing jobs, are just walking out in front of your face outside your country to another place. Why is that? These countries to be the most highly productive country. Now we're the most highly consuming country. We consume more than what we produce. But yet, for some apparent reason, you still have to shed more out of your own pay to feed the machine, which is corporate America, because they're not happy they're paying you a livable wage. You're supposed to suffer. So what will happen in the next 2 years? Everybody saying, you know what, we're not buying no more houses. We're not renting apartments. We'll take old school bus and make our own apartment. What are you gonna do? You're gonna pass a law and say that should not be allowed? Because you're not paying rent no more? You're bypassing them? You have all the banks buying up all the homes that are not being sold. It's not true.
See, I know right now.
So when you buy off all the homes, what's next? Buy all the apartments that are not being filled up no more? Because people
See,
cannot pay these high rent?
here's the other issue they right now with the market, with the real estate market. It's outrageous. Let's be honest.
I know. It's done on purpose.
So I got to argue with my boss the other day. He is probably the dumbest motherfucker I ever know sometimes.
Really.
Yeah, because he thinks the market is never going to crash and keep going up. Yeah. So anything crashes always. A computer crashes, a car crashes eventually, a fucking all this stuff. All right. Before I finish my sentence, let's get this guy in here. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our president. Where is he? There you go. What is going on, Mr. President?
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm
Go ahead.
Oh, wait, once again. So I'm kind of working. I got my computer here, and I don't have the same setup from last week. So I'm kind of. In fact, I haven't even had a chance to listen in. But I just want to hop on real quick before. Nice shave, David.
That's my opinion. Did you get new glasses again?
Couple months ago. Yeah, it's just another pair I got. Yeah.
Oh, every time I see you now, I think you have a new glass every week. Now I'm like, I can't keep track of your glasses, Paul. I'm like, you have a collection there.
Yeah.
I lost train of thought what I was going to say. You know what? Copa America. That's what we're talking about, Paul. So we went over how the pharmacies has taken control. How we don't live for us, we live for corporate companies.
Right.
So, what is your opinion about corporate America altogether? Your open thoughts.
It's my opinion on corporate America. That's pretty broad. They're powerful entities, just like countries exude their power. Just like any empire, any force, if you will, they just do it in a different way. I don't know how many times have I mentioned, and if people have taken me up on it, I highly recommend a specific film, and that is Rollerball from 1975, James Caan. It is definitely worth a watch because it is a very powerful indictment on the power of corporations, and basically in the movie, corporations are essentially run the nations. Like, nation states aren't really entities anymore. They used to have a whole lot of corporations. Any nation state, this seems like now, at least the way it's framed, any nation state that holds any kind of control over a corporation is labeled as a communist or socialist country, and oftentimes with negative. But it's just like anything else. Any entity that exudes power wants to flex that power, and they'll use any means to do it. Money, influence, the elections. We all seen what the election process has done. Since one of these deceased Supreme Court judges once said that corporations are people too, and the fact that they were finally given a voice at the table to give millions of dollars to politicians. Corporations have always run networks. I mean, if you don't believe me, just watch any television, or even before television, watch a radio show. All those shows ran because of television. I mean, the term soap opera, why do you think they call it soap opera? It's because soap companies sponsored those entities, those shows, and they had to advertise those products during the show. So corporations have always had the ability to influence, and it's not about good or bad necessarily. It's all about what brings eyeballs and what brings dollars. So it's been with us for now, I guess a few hundred years now, but it's really no different now than what it's always has been. I think they're just a lot more upfront about the sort of influence and control that they wield, and certainly the fact that they certainly have a big impact on the news that we watch, and on the political process. And when you have the hands of power is in the hands of a few, you're going to get this. But guess what? It happens in any social program. I mean, communism, everyone talks about communism, power there is concentrated in the eyes of few. Socialism, power there is we've never had a truly socialist nor communist system. We're certainly not a communist one. If you look at traditional communism, how it's defined, we've never had that entity, no matter what the entity wants to call itself. If you want to talk about the proletariat, if you want to talk about the bourgeoisie class, if you want to talk about the land, the common man having community ownership of property, that's never happened, ever. No matter what the entity tried to call itself, it's all about usually some sort of power or dictator or something like that, having control over the livelihoods of millions of people. So Corporations are just an extension of the need for corporate power. And even if you start off altruistically, let's say you're a company and you want to make a product to help people, or you feel a need, again, once you get powerful enough, then you have other interests, and you want to control access to capital, which is totally, here's to me, the biggest irony of all this is, everyone wants to talk about, free enterprise, and everyone wants to talk about capitalism. The way corporations right now is anti-capitalist, because the whole idea of capitalism, free market capitalism, laissez-faire capitalism, was to promote a spirit of competition that drove down prices and allowed for fairer trade and better products. And certainly in recent times, corporations get so powerful, they squash competition. They don't want expanded markets. They use their political power to lobby to prevent goods and capital and invention and whatnot to come into the industry because they want to protect their interests. So I really don't think that they want to sell you capitalism, but you can make a case that capitalism really doesn't exist, because again, the power, yeah, sure, it's in the hands of few individuals, and few people ever come out of it from capitalism. If the fact that you say 10% of people in this country make over $100,000 a year. So again, power is concentrated, and those are making $400,000 or $500,000 and up. This 1% of people. So it's still the 1% who have all the power. 99% don't, or certainly subject to that power. So again, it's to me, it's not. I think people really need to understand, wake up, like who's really running things. But they try to paint pictures, conservative versus liberal, Democrat versus Republican, whatever. Everyone's getting played to a particular degree. And I think the corporations, with the power that they exude, have a lot of influence over what goes on.
All right. I know your mom dealt with mental health and all that stuff. What do you feel about the health network? The big pharma that everybody loves.
Well, you say that sarcastically.
Yeah.
But again, it's the same thing. There's profit motive. Again, corporations may start out with altruistic means, but again, once there's money involved and there's a profit to be made, they're going to take advantage of it. And if it's an industry that profits off of you being sick versus making you whole, then all the more reason. It still comes down to, again, once you get to a powerful entity or state, you want to keep that money coming in. So again, investment in sickness is what really drives pharma versus finding cures. Because again, if you're cured, if you're healthy, you don't need anything. And I think they all know that. So again, treatments for certain things, they want to certainly build and promote, or even products that promote dependency. And I remember when the opioid crisis really got out of hand is when I started noticing homeless white people who were, some of these guys I actually talked to. And I actually used to think, man, these guys are, the way they're talking, these aren't dumb people. They seem pretty smart or whatever. But what happened to them? And it just so happened that they might have had an injury or illness or something like that. They got hooked on the opioids. And now they're hooked, and they went through all their means and monies to get the opioids, and now they're begging on the streets. And it's interesting because this country really didn't pay attention to that crisis until it started happening to white people. When you had a crack cocaine epidemic in the African American communities or whatnot, nobody cared. Nobody said, or everything was negative. And we got mass incarceration. African Americans because of that. So the prison industrial complex was, that was built on that. But now you just heard in recent years talking about treatment and whatnot, and you don't need prison, you need treatment. That came because a lot of white people started getting sick or homeless or what have you. And then that narrative changed. So again, I think that, the idea of big pharma or big prison industrial complex or military industrial complex. At the end of the day, again, it's about making money and having power. So even in the medical field or the pharma field, there's no different. Um, their main mission is to make money, and if that means keeping people sick or keeping people hooked or addicted to the products that they sell, then so be it. Um, you know, they say it takes 7 years for a product a drug to be on the market, and a lot of those decisions are made by political influence. You get enough senators on your side, either through uh, you know lobbying, through giving money to political campaigns or whatever it is, to help speed up that process. Companies are going to do it, even if the product itself may not even pass certain standards. You just need a few votes all the time to get things through. So that's just, again, that's capitalism run amok. And again, at the end of the day, it doesn't serve the needs or the benefit of people. So so that's why even more so, we talk about this on next gen training, even more so, where people really have to take their health seriously and really start to think about taking care of their health so they don't wind up sick. Eating better, quitting smoking or drinking or any abusive behaviors. You want to stay out of the health system more so than invest in it, because again, what you get out of it is oftentimes, you'll find yourself in many ways worse off.
It's funny because with the way the health network is, sometimes the nurses, the aides, even the doctors don't give a shit. Your number. They try to get you in and out as fast as possible,
Right.
because they benefit them. So what? Who has something else? Let's move on to the next thing. Let me see what my notes. Layoffs. David, you want to go first? I know this is a sore subject for you.
Layoff. What is the main purpose of layoff? Oh yeah, to get rid of the workforce so you can have more money put back into your pocket, so you don't feel like paying on people to work, so to speak. So the problem is right now is because you still have some congressmen, senators who are fighting for the people in ways of slowly taking out of their pocket and putting in the people pocket. When you live with a mass number of people, right, you put the stress of the workload on the people who are left behind. In other words, you have people doing a 2 or 3 man workload, and you increase their pay, but you increase the workload. This way you have more money back into your own pocket. Make it make sense. So for example, I used to work for MTA as a contractor. The kind of work I was doing is normally for 4 to 5 tech to do to get at the team. But I ended up doing it by myself. I left there when I knowing they want us to reduce our pay, but don't increase our workload, which I find it strange. You're burning yourself out already as it is, and you ask her to do even more. Like, no. I cannot do that. I gotta go. And that's what happened. They're combining title that they're combining position when they do layoffs. If they don't hire those people back, they're forcing those who left behind take extra more workload on top of what they already have already, as it is, to make it works. That's next level micromanaging, and they don't care. If they can find AI to do the work for them, they'll get rid of you and find AI to do it for them. This way, they got more profit in their own pocket. So the idea of layoff is there's no real reason to do so. It's just for the sake of they have to pay extra for what they need. Either they're tired of blocking them to get the good they need because now customers have to pay for it. But then again, they're not really paying for it. They pay for it first, put the price on the goods, make sure they get the money back for paying off the tariff. We end up paying for. So if you need to order Chinese food, because remember all your food is being delivered to these small Chinese restaurant, If it used to be $5 for 4 chicken with 5 rice, that have bumped up to $10. They're gonna find a way to get the money from you. If you're buying your favorite shampoo for $4.99 and went up to $9.99, guess what? They're gonna find a way to get the money from you. But every product that you buy and you pay for to use, you're paying the kind of price because corporate don't want to empty the pocket. Even though you have way too much, but what do you need all that money for? So you're passing to the next generation to keep on hoarding. They can live their lavish lifestyle, so to speak. That's my 2 cents.
Ryan, you're next.
I'm sorry, I have a brain fart right now.
Layoffs. That's where we're at.
Layoffs. So far, I never experienced, but I did remember. Oh my God, 16 years ago when they were overstaffed. This is like my old job at the casino, and I was so afraid that I will end up being laid off. And I realized, okay, because I realized they pay so much of those cooks, like it was beyond the average rate, I will say. I remember it was like 6, 7 people got laid off at that moment. And I asked my sous chef at the time, am I good that I'm going to get laid off? Said, no, I would not worry about you. Is the ones that we don't need. She didn't elaborate, but then I realized after years later, is the ones that are very overpaid, that it was no point of having them. And it was basically they trying to cut down the staff and trying to watch labor costs. Um, so yeah, just layoff. I mean, they're just here to save pennies. They want to make sure they, pay the individual not to pay so much. Make sure the person is productive, but low pay rate, I would say. So, I mean, of course, it's still going on. Regardless, I mean, it's unfortunate. It sucks, but it's either you sink or swim. Either they keep you or they don't keep you. It's everywhere. Um, yeah, I mean, I see that happen. Even though it was a private casino, it's not corporate owned. It was owned by a family, and they were doing that, but they didn't have a choice at the time. They realized, okay, we pay. We don't need that many cooks. So yeah, it just they just want to watch costs. That's what it is. And then you have to cut corners, I guess. So that's all I had to say about layoffs.
Alicia?
Yes, so I've actually had lots of experience with people doing layoffs in like small businesses because they already are trying to survive themselves and they do not want to hire more than is needed. So they have to hire, but when they realize that they're good now, then they're going to lay you off because I personally have worked in a daycare, which is crucial to have all the supportive staff that you have there. But again, it's all about bringing in the money.
Mm-hmm.
And they will cut corners, even cut children's safety to have as less teachers there as possible and lay them off for certain periods. As long as we could make do and follow state guidelines, they didn't care. We would be running children from all over, from room to room to room, to make it in state accordance, to not get in trouble state-wise. But they would not hire enough staff or lay them off over certain slow periods because they don't want to pay. And I've seen it all over in like personal family businesses, a lot of small businesses, because again, they're not making the money and they want to make as much money as they can. And it's their solution to bringing in the money.
So here's my issue with that. And then I let Paul go. My issue with that is they prefer you running back and forth like an idiot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm an
Yes.
asshole. Everyone knows I'm an asshole, right, guys?
No, I'm serious.
No, trust me, I deal with it myself. So we did a major hour cuts recently on my job. So one of the few people who are getting they put full time to part time. That's how bad the cuts were, because they care about their bonus end
Mhm.
of the day. Because they management every
Yep.
month gets a bonus if they're under the quarter. All right. So because I'm an asshole, you guys know I'm an asshole, right? So I wouldn't be running around back and forth like that. I will make sure you fail your state inspection. Then you're gonna learn to get your staff back when I need
Mhm.
it. That's what kind of an asshole you need to be to run around like an idiot. All right, Paul, you're up.
Inherently, there's nothing wrong with this practice. I mean, I don't mean to sound like Reckless Ray on this stream, but again, it's capitalism 101. You know, you have your gross profit versus minus expenses is your net profits. And so your biggest expense is often employees and companies. In, you know, the fastest way to cut costs or to increase profit market is through cutting versus producing, because a lot of that producing you have no power or control over. So these companies, I mean, it's certainly their prerogative if they want to hire and fire. The issue is, again, there's a lack of competition. And so if folks could go to certainly to other companies and thrive there and put the existing business at risk, then they wouldn't do it. But, you know, certainly, you know, the current state of things now is that, you know, again, if you're dependent on others for your means or your income, you can be subject to their rules. And so you got guys like Reckless Ray or whoever, they'd be like, you know, get your own thing, and, you know, he has his own strategies in terms of how to do that, or start your own business, which isn't easy for people. Everyone says start a business, but you know, a lot of businesses fail within the first 5 years, so it's not an easy thing to do. I was having a conversation with my wife about my daughters there had a dance school, and it's been open for like 20 plus years, but they've been struggling financially. They couldn't get my daughter was promised a stipend, and at the end of the day, all she got was basically a thank you card, because again, the business had some struggles. They had one studio was flooded out, and another one, I guess they weren't paying rent. They couldn't maintain. So, you know, all that work that my daughter did, she just got a thank you, but there was no contract, there was no W-2. It was just, you know, certainly just a relationship that she thought, you know, the word of the teacher was good, or the owner was good, and at the end of the day, there was nothing at the end of all of that. And I kind of broke it to her like, well, yeah, I mean, it's not you know, nothing was guaranteed. She got burnt a couple times. She worked for some doctor's offices, some small time doctor's offices. She was getting paid through Zelle. I'm like, wait a minute, where's the trail? Where's the W-2? I'm doing her taxes. It's like, oh, you know what? You didn't pay any federal taxes. And so, you know, you're gonna get clobbered because you didn't pay any federal taxes. I was like, how'd they pay? Through Zelle. I'm like, I'm sorry, you filled out the 1099, the W-4s, right? It's like, yeah, but you know, you got to hold people accountable at the same time. And certainly a lot of the actions that she did, you know, she has to take ownership and accountability for. So, but yeah, I mean, this is within the prerogative of a corporation to look at the best interests of the corporation. I had a guy, head of IT one time. He said, look, we're not responsible for keeping you employed. Our main client is our stockholders. We make our stockholders money. That's our number one thing. Now, if you get paid on top of that, that's a bonus. But our ultimate person that we're responsible for are those who own stock in the company. And even sometimes they get burnt. The stockholders, when a company goes belly up, when bad decisions are made, when the stock goes to zero or whatever, even they get burnt. So nothing is guaranteed in terms of employment. Employment is not guaranteed. And as far as get people, as far as layoffs, I mean, look, we just saw this, right? The whole Doge or whatever you want to call it, went and let a bunch of people go. only to realize that say, oh, we kind of need those people, and try to hire those people back. Now the issue is, it's like, look, what position are you in if they came back to you? Because if you don't got anything going on, then some of those people had to go back because they didn't have anything else. Or are you in a position to say, oh no, kick rocks? You let your best people go, and then realize that you cut too deep, and ultimately the savings, that the quote unquote savings that they actually gave you, was in the millions, not billions. So that whole Doge thing was a scam. So again, it's not, this is this is what happens when you're playing in fields that where you're not you're not understanding your value, or you're not working in a field where you can be easily replaced. That's going to be a problem. I've been in IT. David and I have been in IT for decades. We know what it is when they started outsourcing, right? You had guys who were in IT for 20 years, experienced guys, qualified guys, knew their stuff, but they thought they could do it better in India or in China or something else. So they went, and let a lot of these people go. And they even tied their severance to those people training their replacements. So they said, yeah, you're going to train your replacement, and if you don't, we're going to cancel. You can leave if you want to, but if you want this severance package, you basically got to train your replacement. That was a 60 minutes slot that they did on that years ago, when outsourcing really started to take off. So this is the world that this is the world that you're in. So either you're going to take ownership and authority over your occupation, you want to take things into your own hands, or be in an industry where there's a lot of competition, where you don't have a single entity that's going to be relying on you, or if you're going to work in a job, like even a lot of these government jobs, quite frankly, do they have value outside in the free economy? And you have to also do the things that increase your worth. So I think ultimately you have to take some ownership, but no job is secure. CEOs get fired all the time. Managers, senior management gets fired all the time. I've seen it happen several times. The last job I was at, they had 7 layoffs, major layoffs, within a 3+ year period. I survived 7. The only one I didn't survive, the last one. The last was like the final one when the company went belly up. But I survived 7 of them. And I don't, some of that, I don't think it's because I'm that good, but it was a risk analysis. Okay, who do we need to be in these positions? And I guess I survived the cuts up until the last minute. So, so yeah, it's a reality of doing business. It's a reality that corporations will do this, but understand who ultimately corporations, especially if it's a publicly traded corporation, their interest is their stockholders. If it's a private corporation or entity, their interests are their interests. You're only there to help them get what they want. You just have to make sure that you get what you want out of the deal. And as long as you do that, as long as you know your terms, the day they pay you, then all bets are off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you work 2 weeks, you get paid for 2 weeks. Guess what? The deal is done. And most companies now, if you sign up for a company, everything is right to hire or right to fire. You can leave whenever you want. You don't even have to give 2 weeks anymore, but they can fire you anytime that they want. That's what you sign up for. No cause. They could just say, we don't want you. There's no, unless you're in a place that has like a union. What's that?
Free will estate.
Yeah. But nobody, unless you're part of a union or something and you got to go through a union process. But guess what? That's one of the biggest fights right now is corporations hate unions.
Yes,
And they're trying to fight unions, and they want to end unions because they don't have the free will to do what they want.
So
Now is
Dave,
that,
let me jump in here for 1 second on the union thing. That's a catch-22 with a union. So the catch-22 is very simple. Union can benefit you or hurt you. Like where me and Mariana used to work at used to hurt us meaning we couldn't get people in the door because they won't pay us enough.
Right.
And it was a lot of work at the hospital. Now, on the second union I worked for, they paid me pretty decent, to be honest with you. But the problem was I couldn't discipline anybody, and everybody was running amok. So it's a catch-22. Another union I worked with, they paid me really well. Everybody got disciplined. Everybody did their job. So, again, it goes either way. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's fine. I mean, again, unions have their interests also. So, but again, it's you as an individual, you have to understand again who's going to work more for your interests.
Union.
And yeah, even the union as again, they may not always do well by you, but certainly compared to the corporate entities themselves. But again, there's a lot of people anti-union. They don't think it's democratic or whatever, and there's always that fight. I mean, go back to the Jimmy Hoffa days and the start of the unions, the truckers unions, and all that kind of stuff. And unions have been a dirty business. Back in the day, it was mob controlled. Back in the day, UAW and all that. I mean, there's a lot of dirty tricks that are going on. So again, they're not perfect. But,
Oh, hang on one second. You're going in and out really bad.
Am I? Okay. Again, I am on this crazy hotel internet here. So if I do go in and out, I apologize. Can you still hear me?
Now I can hear perfectly and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. So as I was saying, the unions themselves, that's also been a dirty business. Remember, there was a time when unions were controlled by the mob. So in some may say, correct. Jimmy Hoffa and those guys, had union muscle. And so again, it's not a dirty, it's not a clean business. But again, if you are someone who wants to get away from corporate influence or whatever, or be independent, then you got to take that risk also. That's why a lot of people go into different businesses or multi-level or whatever whatever the thing is that they think they can try to break away from that kind of corporate entity. People get their real estate licenses, or they get or like I said, certify themselves in particular skill sets that are valuable in the marketplace. All those things are on the table when if you don't want that lifestyle. But if you want to stay there, you just have to understand the risks that come associated with that.
All right, thanks, Paul. All right, let's get our final thoughts in, and let's call it a night. Let's go David, Mariana, Alicia, Paul. Go ahead, David. You go first.
I'll make it short answer. Final thought: corporate America sucks. Corporate America don't care. Corporate America own your behind. They own your home. They own your livelihood. They own your insurance. If you don't work for them, you can't work anywhere else. That's my final thought.
This is an interesting topic. I agree with David. Um, Corporate America sucks. I mean, what else can I say? I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's either you sink or swim. Um, but sometimes you have to also be an independent thinker and think for yourself and to survive in this corporate world, I will say. But other than that, yeah, just some you have to speak what you need to speak, to be independent, to say what you need to say. If something doesn't seem right, whatever the case is. But other than that, I mean, it's just there's the good and the bad, but it just is always to protect the company's best interests, so to speak. But everybody has the right to say and think for themselves. But other than that, that's all I have to say for corporate America.
Yes, especially corporate America has always taken over, and it will continue to take over. Especially as I see it personally in my life now, with healthcare, insurance companies, um, cancer centers. It's all about the big corporate America, pharmacy, the big pharmacies, the big healthcares out there. It's not going to change. I just feel like that's where the money's going to go. And our small town businesses, pharmacies, they have to look out for themselves because there's big corporations that are trying to take over. And in a way, I don't blame small businesses because they have to do and try to survive on their own, trying to not be taken over and survive in our world. I'm not for it, but it's our world that we live in. Hopefully one day things will hopefully change.
Corporate America is America. at the end of the day, Rollerball, 1975, James Caan. Watch the movie. Everything we've talked about tonight is covered in the movie. The question is, can you put yourself in a position to be able to have some agency over the choices that you make? Or if you're willing to walk away from corporate America and live a different lifestyle for the sake of your own sanity, are you willing to do that? So again, those are things that, decisions that a person really has to have with themselves, to walk away from things. But it is part of your life. I mean, what we're doing right now over these airways, YouTube is corporate America. They could pull this content or this platform whenever they want. So again, trying to get away from it, unless you want to. Now you can be like the Amish or the Mennonites, and you can live off the grid. Amish and Mennonites, there's no TV, there's no newspapers, there's no television. You live off the land. There's no cars. There's just horses and buggies, and you live an agrarian lifestyle. Now, if you want to do that, that's one way to get away from it. But then again, if a war breaks out, again, the military-industrial complex, that may not necessarily protect you in the long run either. But again, you have to make some decisions in terms of what you're willing and what you're not willing to tolerate. But corporations and corporate America, they're gonna do their thing. It's just the reality of the times we're in, and it's been like that for, like I said, quite a number of years, arguably hundreds of years. And people are still grappling with it, but I think more people are becoming aware of just how powerful we've allowed these entities to be, because again, in part, corporate America sold you the American dream, and I think a lot of people are waking up that it's a nightmare at the end of the day, and more people need to wake up to put the sort of system of government that you want in. I'm not an advocate of socialism or communism, but again, I think you have to think about what kind of government or agency that you want, and if you think that certain people are going to get that for you, again, your eyes got to open again. So,
Thanks, Paul. So, like it or not, we're kind of stuck with corporate America. Not much we can do about it. Just another day. So, quick schedule update before we get out of here. Tomorrow night will be Samurai X with Wally and David. What? Did I say it wrong? No, you give me that look. And for Paul and Coach, we're going to be talking about Burner from Within. Tune in to find out. And this Saturday is a doozy. You see, this is why he shaved his hair, because he knows it's coming. Nintendo versus Sega. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those episodes. And on Gray Area, I think it's an open panel. Let me double check really fast. Yeah, here it is. Load. I'm pretty sure it's an open panel this week. I think this is the week that we have to do that.
yeah, we probably need that. Anyways, especially with all the travel I'm doing now, that might be the best thing.
I don't know. I might shave mine to make myself complete, boy. Feel different.
Yeah, it's open panel this week, Paul.
Oh,
Come on over, brother.
A new product look for the best shaving tech for my head, so I'm gonna make it clean and shine.
There you go. Actually, watch our last show. Watch our last show. We talked about grooming on the gray area. So again, I put some tips in there. So check it out.
Not another one. I got 4 of you guys now.
Join the revolution.
No.
The revolution will not be televised. Resistance is futile.
No, actually, you're right. I don't have to figure it out because I got a full forehead hair, a nice beard, and guess what? Don't be jealous.
No, you're not. It's good to be free.
Anyway, guys, so that is the schedule for this week. Except that, bowl number 1. You got anything on this, David?
No, I'm good.
Looking forward to doing the 7 BBB. You know, you remember.
Mariana, any last words?
No, I'm good.
Alicia,
All is
Mr.
good.
President, my ass. I mean, Mr. President of 7Bs.
Don't worry, we're turning a quarter Spartan BBBBB HQ Network.
Fuck off, David. All right, guys. As always, this was the Spartan HQ Network. I am your host, Coastal Sparta. He's Black David, Mariana, Alicia, and the president of the 7B Network. Unfortunately, why do I do this to myself every fucking night? As always, guys, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.